Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I have a health question.
All right.
uh,
Thank you for your synchronicity.
I developed this rash on my side, and also there's like on the right side of my abdomen
Yes.
some pain that has just started up. And I wonder if you have any specific.
What have you done already to assist yourself in discovering what might be the causation of this?
I changed my diet. I've been wearing like a constrictive back brace, and I stopped wearing that as often.
For what reason are you wearing the brace?
Because I do a lot of heavy lifting.
All right.
Uh,
It is possible that you have created to some degree some constriction upon some of your lymphatic and neurological and blood delivery systems, and this can repair itself as we scan what we sense of your energy. But the
Okay.
idea perhaps also of the rash may simply be that you have picked up an allergic reaction to certain kinds of spores in your atmosphere, and there may be a variety of ways to cleanse your system so that this will dissipate. Some of the things we have recommended may be of some assistance to you, but primarily the idea is of the cleansing of the system that will then provide no support for any such ideas of imbalance.
okay.
Now, is there, to further the issue, to further the question, any different direction in your life that having these conditions puts you in touch with?
Yeah, and more into my healing work.
All
It
right.
makes me focus more there.
All right. Then why not focus completely there?
Uh, that's a good question.
Oh, why, thank you so very much. We always do endeavor to come up with good questions for you all. Do you have a good answer for us?
No.
All right. Well, thank you for your honesty.
Well, yeah, it's like that's where I've been. I'm sort of working regular jobs as I sort of prepare myself.
All right. We're
Get
not
back into my
necessarily
healing
saying that
work.
there is anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
But it is up to you to understand that very often when you have something that points the way to the direction of your true self and your true creative expression of your service on your planet, then you will continue to create bit by bit here and there. If you have some resistance to moving as quickly as you could in the direction of your joy, you will create in your other endeavors things that will push you in that direction, and not always will they be pleasant.
Yeah.
If you are resistant to yourself.
Yes.
So the sooner you pay attention to the signs that say it is time to do something else that you know is more indicative of your truth, then the less need there will be for those things to have to in any way, shape, or form, shall we say, inconvenience you,
Yes.
or cause any kind of pain, which is always the result of the resistance of the natural self. Make sense?
Yes, it does.
So, in another frame of mind, then, perhaps what you need to do is brace yourself and move in the direction that you really know you prefer to express yourself in, for you will be supported.
Yes.
You understand?
Mhm.
Does that help you in any way, shape, or form?
That helps quite a bit.
Thank you, and let me remind you that all I have done is remind you of what you already knew to be true.
Yes.
You didn't need to hear it from me. All right?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Greetings, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I'd like to start tonight where we left off last session, with the hidden agenda.
Oh, all right.
All right, now, if I remember correctly, you mentioned the founders.
I did.
All right, are the founders, can they be referred to as the same as the Anunnaki?
No. They are older than that.
By how long?
Uncountable.
So then, they would be the founders of the Anunnaki also?
In a manner of speaking, though you are thinking too linearly.
Okay. The more, the association of worlds
What about it?
represent each body out there.
Each body.
Yeah. Well,
No, not every
body civilizations.
Not each civilization, no. There are
No?
many civilizations that have no connection to the association of worlds that we are connected to.
How
And there are other associations of worlds.
do you choose sides?
We do not. It is automatic according to vibration and attraction.
All right, let's bring it a little bit closer. The association
How's
of
that?
worlds. That's great. What? No. I'm about ready to come up and sit down with you and talk about it. No, I guess.
What is your question?
Well, to clarify things is in the living of the now. It's of no consequence whether you, as Association of Worlds, or anyone pays us a visit, because it's all set. The timeline has been defined.
In some senses, but there is still randomness as well. Remember, it is not this or that, it is this and that. Both sides of any polarity coexist. Nothing is set in stone, and yet there are things that have been laid out. Yet there is randomness within the things that have been laid out. There is chaos and order simultaneously, and one gives birth to the other. It is a continuous loop. So while there are certainly intentional lines that may have a large degree of momentum behind them and have built up in a way that may allow manifestation to be a relative certainty, there are always surprises in creation. For there are always new combinations of how the infinite can view itself. That's why it's called the infinite. Were everything absolutely set, it would be finite, and therefore everything would collapse under its own weight. It needs to be infinite in order for anything to happen. But because it is infinite, anything can happen. You have innate wisdom on your planet, I believe, that goes something like the best laid plans. Or perhaps in another fashion, just to be a little bit colloquial about this in this translation in your language, if you want to make God laugh, make a plan.
Oh, I agree.
So there are plans, yes, and many of them may play out. We would never guarantee that they will, because not only are we in many ways unpredictable, but believe me, that appellation applies to your planet as well.
All right, then, when the Eisenhower administration was here,
Yes.
a representation of the Greys came,
Yes.
spoke with them,
Yes.
and if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, the Palladians also had a part in that.
In some senses, remotely, yes, but not directly in that particular interaction, no. Only in the offering of a choice.
Yes, yes.
Only in the offering of a way your planet could choose to go.
Oh, I don't mean everybody sitting down at the table at the same time. I mean coming and going and trying to show us.
That you had choices.
Yeah.
Yes. In a sense, this took place. In a sense, yes.
And it was the hydrogen bomb that would have turned us all into dust and gave way for the dolphin.
That is one probable reality. Not necessarily in your timeline exactly, but it is one probable reality and has happened in other probable Earth realities, yes.
That would have been the catalyst. Well, the atmosphere, the burning of the atmosphere. Once the atmosphere goes, everything goes.
Yes, and so you have learned your lesson and gone beyond the need to choose that kind of self-annihilation. And that is one of the reasons why many of these communications can now occur, because you yourselves made the choice.
Okay, and you don't interfere with other paths.
Not really.
Earth has a path, and that's it.
Well, again, there are a multitude of probable realities. If you want to call all of those probable realities the path, you can.
Well,
Yes, what about it?
It, to me, it's, well, you can't tell us how to live our life,
I would never want to do so.
but we are first to tell you how we're going to, and if you don't like it, that's too bad.
That's the way you have structured your society and why you have the kind of governmental structure that you do.
Yeah, so how do you work with a government like that?
We don't.
All right,
We do not work with your government.
I'll leave out the word "we" to be more defined.
Are you
How does
referring to yourself?
the association of worlds
What about us?
in the collective
Different levels to, in a sense, inspire individuals to move in the directions that would be more representative of their own best, highest joy. If they choose to do that, they give us something to work with. If they don't, then we have nothing to work with. We are only working with the earth vibration that has chosen and is choosing to move in the direction that is somewhat comparable to our own vibration. We do not work with the earths that do not.
Okay.
Now, if you're referring to the idea of how do you work with a government like that, since you are the government, you have to make that determination. You have to change yourselves according to what you prefer. And then your structures will change accordingly, since your outer is only a reflection of the inner. Compartmentalize yourself inwardly, and of course it is natural that you would compartmentalize your government structure outwardly. Box away your fears, and of course it is natural that you would create hidden agendas and secret organizations to hide things from you. One is only a reflection of the other. But we do not work with such organizations in that way. You must remember also that there are many different kinds of interactions that the Association of Worlds has with many of you that have nothing at all to do with your physical reality. We are all in high levels of communication in what you call your dream states. But it is up to you to decide what of those conversations will filter down into your physical reality and what will take effect and what will become aligned with many of the ideas that we have all discussed in the dream reality that are more representative of your harmony and your joy. It's up to you. It's your planet. You have to decide what will take effect, what will take form, what will crystallize.
in cooperation with Sirius and the triad. Well, Earth, Esasani, and Sirius.
And many others.
All right, well, the present triad, the most forward, is that the one?
There are many. We will not be more definitive at this time than that because we feel it would be a step backwards in terms of rigidly defining what is going on.
Backwards?
You are looking for hierarchy in a sense where none exists.
No, I was going to take it one step further.
We have already taken it one step further.
No, you have, I haven't.
Yeah. That is what we mean. When I say we, I did not necessarily mean you. I am talking about all of us on this side.
I see. Seems to me Bernard Stark falls in there somewhere.